Morning guys, it's Coach Janet here again, coming at you after a workout. So we've been talking about what stops us from getting to goal, because most everybody who comes in here knows what to do. It's making that happen that's getting in our way. So we've been talking about things like changing habits, and two separate instances, we were talking about perfectionism and how that's impeding not only our goals, but our well-being and our happiness. So today I'm going to talk about perfectionism. So I'm going to bring you back, probably 2 years. I was watching a webinar by Jill Coleman, very smart chick. She coaches online trainers as well as women. She specializes in fat loss for women. Google her if you're interested. I really like her vibe. But her whole presentation was on women and our mindsets and she had like 5 things that impede our fat loss journey, and her theory, and I believe this to some degree, you need to address those things if you ever plan or if you ever want to be successful and keep your weight off. And that's what we're looking for, sustainable results, so we change our life forever. Anyways, one of her things is around perfectionists. And so she said, your female clients that come in, 90% of them are going to have this mindset. And there's a book. If you're a trainer, you need to read this book. It's a must because you have to get inside the mindset of your client. So I thought, I'm a trainer and I'm very good, so I'm going to get this book. Now, I can't show you the book hard copy because I bought the Kindle version, but it's called Being Happy. I hope you guys can see that. There you go. I just printed that off. Being Happy. I never remember the authors. Tal Ben-Shahar. Shire. Anyway, I don't know. I don't have my glasses on. Shire. Being Happy. So I start into the book, like I'm 3 pages in and I'm like, oh my God, that's me. Like I'm totally suffering from all of these symptoms. And the worst part, I'm taking a little diversion right now. The worst part is me being a perfectionist. I expect perfection with me. I expect, at some degree, at some level, subconsciously, I expect perfection from those around me. And I'm sure I gave off vibes. And if any of my previous clients felt that, I truly apologize for that, because as a coach, that did not do you any favors. I remember, I don't know, Rena, if you're watching, but I remember Rena getting on the scale one day and she jumped off and her hydration was down, and I made a comment, and she was walking away. She was a bit discouraged with the numbers, and she was walking away and saying she's never satisfied or she's never happy, something like that. And I thought, oh yes, I am, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? At some level, I probably affected you guys. Anyways, I'm totally taking a diversion, but that book really affected me, that Being Happy. And in there, the author talks about perfectionist versus an optimalist. So a perfectionist wants and expects to get from point A to point B in a very straight line. So a perfectionist, oh God, I should practice this, goes from here to there. No problems, no bumps, no mistakes. And often, like, girls come in and they go, okay, I got 12 pounds to lose. I got to get this off in 8 weeks. Go. Help me. Do you know what? In the 7 years I've been coaching, that happened to one client. One client came in consistently, boom, 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 boom. 4 months, she was where she wanted. Okay, thank you. If I put on the weight, I'm going to come back. Everybody else, it kind of looks, I hope you guys can see, I hope this is showing up. Everybody else kind of looks like this. Me too, actually. You lose some, you gain some, you lose some. So the optimalist looks at things a little bit differently. They see it as expecting. Like their goals, their aspirations don't change. They still want to achieve that high level of standard, but they're expecting little hiccups along the way. And that expectation really does help to frame things. And you know what? It really allows you to be more experimental with things. So focusing on being perfect, being on that point B, that outcome, that end, creates stress, anxiety. When things don't go well, you're like, oh my God, I'm a failure. There is no failure. The optimist says, it's feedback. Feedback, not failure. Okay, so I'm up, my weight is up after the weekend. Gosh, I did drink more than I expected, and then I ate too much. So that's just feedback. So I know myself, if I drink more than 6 glasses over the weekend, I'm gonna be up on Monday. My weight's gonna be up, but if I stick to 4 or 5, I'm good. That's me. So someone else might be able to drink 8 or eat a whole pizza or whatever. You have to figure out what happens in your body, in your life. And then all those little hiccups in the road just become feedback. My PN course, you guys often, I'm quite proud of my level 2 precision nutrition coaching course. And they talked about this too. And Krista Scott-Dixon made a very poignant analogy. Engineers look at things like not failures but facts, feedback. So if they build a bridge and the freaking thing crashes under a certain weight, they go, okay, so how do I improve that? And I'll tell you guys from my own experience, once I let go of expecting so much of me and being perfect, it opened up a lot of doors for me. Things don't have to be, these videos, I wouldn't have done them before because they weren't perfect. So I'm not good. Like that stumbling over the author, I'm going to retake that, practice it, go and again. You know what? It's freedom. It's like, it's cool. And when you're not expecting perfection, it also lets you be more approachable. It's real. Perfect is boring. Like, who the hell wants to hang around your perfect friend? Like, freak that. She's just a downer. Because you can never match up to that, right? So, if you suffer from perfectionism, expecting you to be on all the time, expecting no mistakes, very hard on yourself. If you're suffering with stress, anxiety, and guilt, it is an indication that you might be expecting too much of yourself. I would really encourage you to look into this book, Being Happy. It's a fairly quick read. It's well written. It's intriguing, actually. Number 1, being happy. Expect to mess up and treat it as feedback. There's feedback, not failure. Stop beating yourself up. The other thing, and this is from Jill Coleman, and it really resonated with me. Ask yourself, you're doing your best, aren't you? Ask yourself, when you start beating yourself up, catch yourself. Am I doing my best? If the answer is yes, then at some level, at some point, your best has to be good enough. If you're not doing your best, then maybe you need to push a little harder or reach a little more or whatever's going to make you feel better. But you need to realize you are enough. Your best has to be enough, or you're going to drive yourself crazy, everybody around you. So have a great week, people. Enjoy being your best and do your best. That's all that anyone can ask of you. If you need help figuring out what's your best, figuring out what your superpowers are, figuring out how to use those superpowers in your nutrition journey, give me a call. I'd love to help you. 613-282-5267. This is Coach Non-Perfect Janet reaching out to you. Have a great week, guys. See you later.